Welcome back everyone, my name's Charlie. If you've watched the channel before, thank you very much for joining us again. And if you haven't watched the channel, I've just bought my first big bike. It's a 2004 Honda CBR600RR, and this is the first bike I've got after passing my full Category A motorbike license in the UK. And we're going to get into just some casual riding, but I hope you guys will stick along for the journey and see what goes on. If you haven't checked out my previous video where I review this bike and go through all the details on why I chose it, then be sure to check that video out up here. Anyway, let's get into the riding. Now, I am fairly new to bikes in general, but I'd love for you guys to join me on this journey of learning the ways of the bike community. This episode is just going to be a fairly casual riding vlog style video where I just chat to you a little bit about the bike and whatever else is on my mind. But yeah, I hope you guys will stick along, and yeah, whatever you'd like to see in the future, if you'd comment it down below, then yeah, we can look at doing some more cool stuff with some bikes. If any of you car guys out there have been toying with the idea of getting a bike, I would definitely recommend it. Either way, whatever you end up getting, you will enjoy it. I'm 100% certain of that. Whether it's a sport bike, a naked style bike, a supermoto, there's something for everyone out there. And even I would like to try different styles of bikes, potentially in the near future. But my experience of this bike so far has just been incredible. From everything, the sound, the feel, apart from the riding position, which can sometimes be a little bit challenging, it's just an amazing experience on this bike. And to begin with, I was genuinely quite fearful of using all the power, as the bike has over 100 horsepower and weighs like under 200 kilograms. So I was quite worried that I maybe wouldn't be able to control the power safely, to say. And I didn't really want to go over 7,000 or 8,000 RPM to begin with, but when I finally did, it was like I couldn't believe, honestly. It's the power. I don't know if you guys have had powerful cars before, but again, compared to a car, this is nothing. Again, I don't know what kind of cars you guys have had before, if you have any sort of cars that are absolutely mental and thrilling, but I don't think I've ever personally driven a car that's given me a thrill quite like this bike has. And every time I get on it, it's still such an event, and it still does scare me. And I genuinely think it's a feeling you can never get bored of when you open the bike up all the way to 15,000 RPM. So if any of you guys are toying out there with getting a bike or doing your big bike license, stop wasting time. It's summer, do it. Make the most of the sunshine while it's there. If you don't like it, you can always sell it. If it's not for you and you pick a bike that you're not comfortable on, guess what? You can sell it, get something else. But you're not going to regret having the opportunity and the experience to get out on a bike. You definitely won't regret it. Now, I am still a complete beginner rider on a big bike, and I haven't ridden previously in years since having a lot smaller bikes. So I'm still figuring out how to get comfortable on a bike again. But everyone's got to start somewhere, and I have to say that I don't think there'll be a moment now in the future where I don't have some sort of bike, because as I'm sure a lot of you biker guys will understand, once it's a part of you, it's very difficult to live without. But we're just about to get the bike open up on a big road, and you guys can hear for yourself and determine on if it's worthwhile you getting a bike and seeing if you want to experience a 600cc sport bike for yourself. Ready? Does scare me. There genuinely is nothing quite like rowing through the gears. Of course, only ever up to the speed limit, which in the UK is 70 miles an hour on a dual carriageway, because we would never risk going above the speed limit, because that's a very silly move. Now, another thing I have to say is I've only been back on a bike a short while, but the community I've experienced from being on a bike is nothing like a car. Even when you've got the same exact car, I have to say, every biker, even the kids with their L plates on and on 125s and the big bikes, like, they all want to nod their head over to you and say hello and engage and recognise that they've seen you. And honestly, it is quite a nice thing just knowing you're part of sort of a shared interest. And it seems like people genuinely actually care about each other, whereas cars, you feel like most people don't really have any interest. So I will say that is something the bike community has over the car community, is the friendliness, the willingness to share their interests and acknowledge each other. We'll give it one more blast for you guys. We'll do first gear. We've got lots of people in front now. Second gear. We'll go for a little overtake. See, that was just sort of 10,000 RPM second gear, and it just goes like you wouldn't believe. A quick short pull for first gear. Yeah, she's definitely dangerous and aggressive, and she does want to take your head off at the quickest opportunity. And if given the chance, I'm sure she would absolutely destroy you. So it's definitely worth taking things slow and being very cautious. Luckily, I feel like I've had a little bit of time to try and understand the bike a little better, but in those first few days, honestly, I was extremely scared of this thing. This bike is an animal that can't be tamed, to be perfectly honest, and I've never experienced a vehicle like that. Again, all of the cars I've been in and personally driven, to be fair, I haven't driven anything that's really been over sort of like 400 or 500 horsepower, and they haven't had this kind of aspect of fear to them, let's say, that this bike does. Now, this is exactly what I want from a car ideally, but for some reason I just haven't found it yet. Or maybe I just need to make something that's so outrageous and so dangerous that, yeah, it gives me the same feeling that this bike does. But yeah, we're yet to see it from a car, but that's the goal, is to own vehicles you're genuinely afraid to drive or ride. Anyway guys, that's about it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. I know it was a very casual one of just a little ride around and a bit of me waffling, but if you do like what you've been seeing, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. There's much more to come in the future. We're going to get out a lot more on the bikes, go for some more group riding, and go into some cool bike locations we've got planned as well. But be sure to check it out, and thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.